Good morning from Vienna. It's my honor to be asked to speak to our current president, José Palma from Barcelona. And I'd like to start by asking him how he actually became president and his experience in EACTS over the many years. José.
Well, when I was still a very young surgeon, I met some of the pioneers of the EACTS. And when they explained me the project, because at that time it was still a project, I thought it was a very good idea. I have always to say that EACTS, for most of us, was the top of the associations, and it was very similar at the beginning to the idea of the EACTS, a very academic society. And I was lucky because after some years of a member, the treasurer at that time, Marcos Mutra, ended his term, the third term, and they were supposed to have a new one. And he was living in Barcelona, I was living in Barcelona. For us, it was easy to have an overlap, and at that time, it was not easy to understand the financial situation and all the complexity of the infrastructure. And we had the time to sit down hours and hours to understand a little bit how it was working. So I became the treasurer for, again, a long period of time. At the end of this time, the structure changed, and we had the new domains, and I was the chairman of the adult cardiac surgery domain 3 years. Interesting because it was completely new. We didn't really know how to do it, but well, you have to start. And after that, I became officer, and I became vice president, and finally
now president.
Yeah.
And so how have you enjoyed your year over the last year as president? What sort of things have you been doing?
I have been enjoying the whole time in the EACTS. I think it's a fantastic society. We are a fantastic group of friends and colleagues. But I have to say also that sometimes I've been tough.
It's been quite hard work over the last year, hasn't it?
Yes. But you know, we are surgeons, and for us the challenge is like for some of the people, American Express, you cannot leave home without it. Yeah. So you need to have a challenge a little bit of...
Yeah, what sort of commitments have you had in visiting other societies, other countries to bring EACTS to the rest of the world?
That's a very good and very important question. Somehow we are organizing on one hand meetings in or together with other societies, for instance, with the Asian people or some of the American people. And this, I think, it is very important because it gives visibility to the society. And I have to say that also being a member of the Council of the American Association, all over the world, they feel EACTS is today the #1 association in cardiothoracic surgery. And I think this is very important. So we need to be able to get close to other places. They cannot come here, or they just need support for teaching or for other programs. And I think in this sense, we are doing a very, very good program in terms of the academia for EACTS. There is more and more students and young people coming to Windsor for courses, and they are coming from all over the world. Now, last meeting we had people from Japan, many other places from Asia, Africa, and even from the States.
Well, we've all organised some courses in Windsor, and it seems to be very, very successful. You've obviously feel the same, but do you see that expanding even more there?
We had a beautiful time in Bergamo. It was the beginning. But
I'm afraid Windsor doesn't have the weather, does it, of Bergamo, unfortunately?
No. But you have other qualities, for sure. And I think it's, well, as always, when you have the office at home and everything can be organized better. And Bergamo was the beginning, and maybe we were not able to do a good marketing. And that's why at the beginning we had very few students coming there, 5, 10. Every time we had a course, we had only 5 courses every year, and every day, the last day of before the course, we said, oh, it's still one day, but we have only 10 people there. Are we going to cancel the meeting or not? Today is just the opposite. Today we have a lot of people, and we have to say stop it because we have no room.
It's really been successful, hasn't it?
So it has been an evolution, and I think this is very positive.
You mentioned that you've travelled all over the world in your presidency. And my impression is that although it's a European society, in practice it's becoming more like a world society with a sort of
yes,
people
indeed,
who join.
indeed. And I don't know if it was a merit for us or just because of the opportunity, but in fact, with all these global problems between the Middle East and some countries with the States, many of the physicians, they prefer to come to Europe for meetings. It is true that between colleagues there is no problems, but many of them, they prefer to travel to Europe because it's easier. They don't need, most of them, they don't need a visa. And to go to the States means hours sometimes, or many hours in the immigration.
Unfortunately, politics does play a part, doesn't it? Can I ask you, Jose, we're starting now the meeting in Vienna. What are you looking forward to in particular? We have a very varied program, but...
I think that the two important things are, one, from the teaching point of view, I think we have to realize that the mission of the EACTS is education, and I think we are doing very well, but we have to do better. And one of the things of the program, or two things important in the whole program of EACTS, is the quality improvement program, which is a very important one. And the second program is also to get a common training in cardiac, adult, and congenital, thoracic, and vascular in the whole Europe. This will be the only way
to have... It's a very big task, though.
It's a very big and difficult, and very difficult, because we are not the ones to do it. But we have to do it, otherwise nobody is going to do that. So the idea is to have a common program, to be able to exchange residents, to have the same level of competency between one and the other, and not only inside of Europe, but also with Asia or the States. They are modifying slowly also their programs, so at the end we can move from one place to the other. Well, and the second thing for me of this meeting in Vienna, it's also to clarify the infrastructure of our daily work, administrative work. We need to clarify how a few points of the Constitution have to be rewritten, and we have to be able to have a transparent and very open society. And I think we will get it.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask you one more final question, which may be included or not. In England, we have a very famous program called Desert Island Discs. And as a very famous person, they often interview you and ask you, if you're on a desert island on your own, which record would you choose to listen to? Well,
there is a very nice song from Katy Melua. You probably know her. She's a young singer. And it's called A Million Bicycles in Beijing.
A Million Bicycles in Beijing. Well, on that note, we will finish our interview. And thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.